There she
She's
comes.
there.
There she comes.
Morning, Padma.
Morning, Padmashri.
Morning.
Good morning, Padmashri. I started the engine and wanted to drive, and then you came.
No, just as I was coming this side, my maid got something hurt, so I had to find the plaster for her. So
Okay. Okay, so we will go to verse number 37 in that book. This whole thing, 37, 38, 39 and 40, all these verses are for Guru, praying to the Guru. So nothing much we can discuss on this. It's just looking at how the saintly qualities are. So if we look at the 35th verse onwards, so he says that you are the master and you know everything, so why don't you show some mercy or karuna, that is compassion, and help me with moving from bhava. See, this is exactly what Buddha meaning is also all about. Bhavabdhav, moving from one to another. So the practice, what we need to have is to, out of the 4 layers of consciousness what we discussed yesterday, let go of the first 2 layers consciously all the time. If you can do that, your Atma is seen, because that is what is unconscious all about. It's not able to become conscious of itself. It is literally taking what is unreal as real. That is what anitya to nitya and nitya to anitya. Okay, so yesterday I had been to my friend's home in the evening. So I was telling him that if you apply even Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it's so nice to see. So first verse or sutra talks about yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Okay, so that is the end result of it. So if that is the end result, that when the vritti happens, when the vritti is not there, then what happens? Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. The person will come to know his own true nature. And then the third sutra, he talks about vrittayaha panchattaya klistaha aklistaha. That is 5 are aklista, that is non-tormenting, and 5 are tormenting. Or they give klista means they give rise to obstacles basically, because they torment. What are these 5? One is pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritayaha. So this pramana means to measure. So our measurement today is by height and width and color and money and all that. So you see how we are totally deluded. We are measuring the body and saying that this person is of so and so height and that is of so and so width and this color and shape and all that. So pramana. And there are 3 pramanas, that is pratyaksha, anumana, agamaha. So you are able to see through your own eyes, and it says that if the person is tall or short or lean or whatever it is, and then the color and everything. Then anumana, inference. So just like smoke and fire, so there's an inference of a fire by looking at the smoke. So we infer. That's the second one. And the third one is agamaha, testimony given by somebody. So that mountain over there is 38,000 feet. That's a testimony, and we agree. This mountain is 36,000 feet, or this mountain is 10,000 feet, and that person is a gold medalist. That person is a Nobel Prize winner. So we go by that. Or the person is a doctorate, or is a doctor, or is an engineer, or he is a painter. All that is agamaha. Okay, that is the testimony given by others. So in the Laukika Loka, all of these are klista. They harm. So pramana viparyaya. That is, he explains it beautifully. Viparyayo mithyajnanam atadrupam swarupam. That is, mithyajnana means wrong information is created as right information. So, example, wife or husband is a wrong information, but it gets established as right. So if somebody were to ask me, what is this person standing next to you, I'll say, she's my wife. And how about this person? He is my son. But that is mithya jnanam. The ajnana is so much that it gets established so nicely that you believe that, or I believe, start to believe that I have a wife and I have a son. But what I have is really two jivis only, for which I am not the owner. Okay, they are their own owners. But I believe that I am the owner of these two people. So viparyaya, vikalpa. Now I come into imagination. I am in the imagination world of senses, 5 senses. Okay, this is the third one. Nidra. I am in deep sleep of reality. Smritayaha. My memory talks about only wife, son, house, then my bank balance and job and this kind of employment or this kind of skill set and that and all of that, and what my son should be doing, what my wife should be doing, or what my husband should be doing, and etc 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 is part of this klista. Aklista, that is when it gets cleared. So now same pramana, pratyaksha, you are able to see that you don't have any wife or son or daughter or anyone including yourself. So the 2 layers of that consciousness is gone. So then that is pramana. Viparyaya is mithya jnana is gone. So aklista happens. Vikalpa. Now you are in the savikalpa samadhi. That is the reason why you have that imagination, vikalpa. Nirvikalpa and vikalpa. So you have to first establish the vikalpa. So savikalpa samadhi is established. Nidra. You are sleeping to the world and awakened to the reality. Smritayaha. Your memory is full of what is reality and you have removed yourself out of unreal. And this is what the teacher is supposed to be teaching to the student. So I was telling my friend that even if you were to implement this, it's sufficient. You don't have to go in search of anything. Just 3-4 verses of Patanjali is quite sufficient. I don't have to go to each of the meanings and go into the etymology and detailing of all of that. That is absolutely not required. This much of investigation is sufficient. So the disciple, having found the right teacher, is looking at his problem of understanding. So he says in 36th verse that I am being roasted in this changing world as though I am being hit by an inferno and I am tossed about by the cruel storms of misfortune. Bhitam Prapannam. I'm terrified and I now have no other except for Paripahi. That means take refuge from the Mrityu. Sharanam Anyad Yad Aham Na Jane. I don't know any other thing, any other person who can give me the shelter than you. Any comment you have, any one of you? Okay, no comment, then I'll continue. So, So acknowledging the goodness of all the rishis. So this is what we need to see in a person. Shantaha mahantaha nivasanti santaha vasantavat lokahitam charanantaha tirnaha swayam bhima bhavarnavam janan ahetuna anyan api tarayantaha. So these people have shanti. So the shanti meaning here is that there is absolutely full understanding of the reality. That means their mind doesn't go and relish through the five sense objects. So they live like the spring season when everything is beautifully looking, and they live for the lokahita, meaning goodness of the world. Tirnaha swayam. This is the most important word, not pleading. The difference between Shankara teaching and others. In the Shankara teaching, there is swayam, self. You have to put your own effort, and that becomes shramana. You have to put your shrama. Whereas in the other traditions, there is only bhiksha, beg. I am begging for refuge. Show me your true nature. That is how other traditions are versus Shankara. Okay, in the Shankara there is nothing like you need to beg. You have seen the Guru who has by his own effort crossed over the samsara. Bhima bhavarnavam. So now with no ulterior motive, that is they don't have, since they have crossed over, they would be the right person to deliver requisite knowledge for liberation. So that's the 37th verse. And then the Shishya also reflects upon how the service is given by the Guru. Ayam swabhavaha swasta eva yat parash shramapanod pravanam mahatmanam sudham shureshu resha swaya marka karkashah prabha bhitapta mavati kshitim kila. So ayam swabhavah swatah eva yat. Indeed, it is their inert natural nature to be so. and they will do everything to remove the troubles of others, and they have that mahantam. They have such a magnanimity that they can understand the person at what level the person is, and then give him the teaching requisite to that level. Sudhanshu is the moon. Isha, Swayam. The moon, just like the moon is seen to express its own nature, scorched by the flaming rays of the sun, because prabhavihi tapam avati kshitim kila, the earth is cooled by the moon, isn't it not, is the question. That means when you get the guru, your scorching thing is gone. In its place, a coolness is felt. So if your guru is doing that, then you have come to the right place. If the guru is scorching you, that means you have come to the wrong place. So that is how the differentiation has to be made by the shishya.
I think as per our old system, guru means there used to be a lot of bhaya also, right?
Yes.
Because the guru used to punish. But here when I see it is our karuna janaka. Guru has to create that awareness of that bhakti, and guru also become very shanta in this case.
Correct.
More he shanta is, more spiritual, without having any aham or without giving any punishment. I think such gurus are there even now also. They're very karuna janaka. I think the way the shishyas are going to them and they're getting that spiritual knowledge. They are so humble, I can say. They don't have anything with them, no money, no house, nothing. But they are highly respected for their knowledge and the way they have dedicated themselves. So the real guru means it is not like the Kopishta guru, right? The real guru is who is the Shanta guru.
Yes. The real guru is not only in knowledge.
Durvasa is not a guru.
What is that?
Durvasa.
Durvasa is not a guru. Yes, he is not a guru. Correct. So,
because I have seen many times this so-called gurus, they give us little something to the shishya and then after that they will not give anything. They make that shishya to unnecessary struggle. When shishya is asking for knowledge, he comes with a lot of bhakti, bhaya and all that. Give me this knowledge. Due to one or the other reasons, he will keep him away. Maybe he is not Brahmana. Maybe he is not, he is not following whatever I say. I asked him to give donation to my ashrama. He is not doing it, so I will not give knowledge. Like that, there can be so many things.
yes, that is
Like that, nowadays, you can see maximum these Kavi gurus. They will be looking at all these corporate people from the purpose of money and getting more bhaktas.
correct. Absolutely.
I think our the organizations where we are seeing nowadays, the father mother thinks my son is gone away from me because of attraction there. That son has already donated everything, sarvasva, to that ashram. After that, anyway, he doesn't have money. He has no option. Only Saranagati.
Correct.
So that is not bhakti. That is not even spirituality. It is an instant something. He is going through emotional turbulence and he has done the Sharanagati. But actual, he should be truly seeking the spirituality. Then only is the real Shishya and the other person the real Guru.
Very true. So Vivekachudamani teaches about two things. One is who is the Shishya and who is the Guru.
Yes, yes.
So you can identify and choose your Guru accordingly. Actually, the meaning of Guru is Gu plus Ru. Gu is darkness and Ru is light. So from darkness to light. That's all is Guru.
Guru is the highest power, right? Say Gurutva Karshana, Guru.
Yeah, Gurutva Karshana is reason being that the person can show the path. But Maharshi is higher than Guru.
Maharshi can give knowledge to thousands at a time, right?
No, he can not only give knowledge, he can show how to reach the other side of the shore. That's the reason it is called Maharishi and becomes Maharshi. So there is Rishi. Rishi is person who has understood, dwelt in reality. So the Guru will then become Maharshi. So
Ramana is Maharshi, right? Ramana
yes,
is Maharshi.
Ramana is a Maharshi.
Yeah.
Maharishi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is some story about that. I heard that story. That means nobody knew that Ramana Maharshi is so great. He was just going from one place to another place. Actually he was seeking for Shishya or something. I think the one old lady, she was thinking, what is he? It looks like, that person is mad. He was trying to tell him, why don't you be silent and sit somewhere, Mauna. I think that he was doing that also. I think there is one person called Ganapati Shastri also. That person is all four Veda Paranjara, great person. And his caliber was something like, if you throw the books up, when it falls on this one, open that page, the moment he sees that, he can grasp everything up to that level of knowledge. It's all great to hear all those things. And that person, when he saw the Ramana Maharshi, the first reaction was, I know Veda very well, I know so much of knowledge, but I don't have Brahmajnana. Please, can you help me? So then Ramana started teaching him. That is how this person has become from normal Shastra to really Brahmajnani. This Ganapati Shastri also.
Correct.
Amazing stories.
Yes.
So there the Guru and Shishya is the perfect. See, this guy, even though he knows all Veda, Ramana Maharshi may not be knowing that, but he is a Brahmajnani.
Correct. That is what is required. Anyway, so 39th verse, it talks about the bliss, what he can give to the Shishya. So now the Guru says that Brahmananda rasa anubhuti kalitaha putaihi sushitair yutaihi. That is, this experience of Brahman would be like sweetened and purified and cooled. Yushmad vak kalasha ujjitaihi shruti sukhai vakyamritaihi sechaya. So the speech making as though it is coming from a pitcher in the stream, which is delightful to listen, to shower on that speech, which is so sweet to hear from the Guru. So I am very much tormented, and hence I am so much blessed that I got this Guru. This is what he... And Sechaya is the sprinkling. So just like when you are thirsty and there is a sprinkler and you're drinking water from the sprinkler and somebody gives you a pitcher and you have quenched your thirst, that is the bliss of Brahman. So if you are getting that from the Guru, then you have come to the right place. So then the Guru is asked by the Shishya on how do I cross the ocean of samsara. Bhava Sindhu or Bhava Sindhu. Bhava is to become. See, the one of the major thing in Buddha teaching is about Bhava. Bhava is to become. And the only reason why we have come on this place is to become something or the other. We were not happy with what we had become earlier, or now we want to become something than what we were or what has been given. So I think we have spoken about this many number of times. 4 things should be left immediately if you don't want that Bhavatarana to happen. World talks about competition, and you shouldn't be competing at all. First, the world teaches is to compete. Second, or rather the even more worser thing than competition is comparing. The children are compared, the child is compared, even the infant is compared. So we'll say, oh, she or he looks like her father or her mother. That's a comparison. Brahman can never be compared. So no living being can be compared. So the first greatest mistake of having a bhava is to compare. And that is sufficient enough to give you many lives. So first is to compare. Second is to compete. These two are ills. As far as papa is, this is one of the craziest of the papa, because these two things will give you lust, raga, will give you dvesha, because one who is compared and said that you are not a good performer will now feel hurt. So he would like to take revenge or whatever he wants to take. So let's say an employee said that you are bad, and then put on PIP, and that person goes away. Now he has so much of ill will towards that organization. Even after quitting, he keeps on complaining about that organization till he dies. So what he has done is that he has added more dvesha, and somebody has been kept on promoting in his life, so he gets lot of raga, and thinking that organization and family and all of this is real, so the person gets into moha. So what he got is, so normally when we want to marry, the first thing what somebody looks is how fair the bride is. Maximum number, not that everybody marries a fair skin, but in general. And even if it is no fair or dark, one question is asked, how does she look? And that is what comparison is all about. So what is there to look? There is nothing to look. So then there is competition. And these two brings in the third evil thing called as compulsion. We want to lead a life through compulsion. And the fourth one is compromise. So one brings the another. So the person is always in bhava, tarana. Tarana means is to shake, and bhava is to become. So you become this or you become that. So now this life I become an engineer with this so and so skill. And then the organization says that no, this is not only required, you have to have management skills also. So I want to possess the management skill. Then I need to have negotiation skills. Then I need to have motivation skill. I need to have that skill, this skill. Even at home, you need to have this skilled, that skilled. As a parent, you should be this skilled. As a child, you should be that skilled. All of that creates comparison. Again competition. Again compulsion. Again compromise. So this is what is called as samsara. If by chance, if we are able to leave all the four of them in the mind and just accept to what you are, you have crossed the ocean of samsara. Because now your happiness is not conditioned. Your happiness is unconditioned. So you can be happy irrespective of what other thinks. If somebody thinks you are a fool, so be it. He is equally a fool to think that you are a fool. Or if I react to his foolishness, then what he thinks is right, that I am a fool. So better is to smile at that person, because he is comparing himself, he is competing with himself, he is compulsively doing something to himself, and he will ultimately compromise something or the other. All these four he is going to do, but you are not doing it. So nobody can rob your happiness at all. So Bhavatarana is that. So Bhava Sindhu, Sindhu is the river, the fastest of the river. If you were to go to Ladakh, you will see the raging of that river, which starts from India and goes into Pakistan. At Batalik sector, it enters into Pakistan. So you can see the way that Sindhu Nadi is, or river is. So that's the reason it is compared to Bhava Sindhu. Once the person starts on Bhava, it is never ending. It keeps on going and growing also. So the only way to stop any further becoming is not to have these four. So don't compare yourself, because there is no self to compare. Don't compete, because there is a fabrication there. And don't compete and don't compulsively live your life. The Brahman need not have to lead a good or a bad or ugly life. It's just a life. So you don't have to compulsively lead a life. When I say compulsively, means I need to have this, I need to have that, I need to make sure this thing works, that thing works. That is all compulsion. Then the fourth one is to compromise. This is the worst thing. Ultimately, life will teach you to compromise. If you don't compromise, you are in pain. So ultimately, the person compromises, and he perishes from there. So he is saying that this Guru whom I have found knows how to remove me from this existence, and showing me what is my ultimate destination. Which of these many means should I adopt? I am hearing a lot of different methods, different kinds of things that needs to be done. So I want your help in knowing which one is good for me. And I know nothing else. Jane na kinchit kripaya ava mam prabho. I know nothing. And just like what Padma Shri keeps on saying, Pamara. That's exactly what this means. That I don't know anything about it. So teach me from the beginning and save me from this samsara dukkha kshatim atanushlava. How to end the misery of this samsara, and which is so finite, seemingly infinite. So kindly describe to me in detail how to do it. And this is what the Shishya is going to do to the Guru. So now the Guru talks. So from 41st verse to around 47th verse, he talks about that, and the very nice questions the Shishya then ask. So we'll quickly go through this. It's not a big thing. It only reiterates what the Shishya has asked. So the Guru says that you have spoken very well on what you want, and you want a protection from the forest of samsara. Analatapatapam, heat and tormentation of the samsara. So he says that I am there to show you kindness, and I am ready to hold your hand and bestow upon you a spontaneous gesture of large-heartedness. So the learned one, to such a seeker standing before him, who has thus approached him, upasattim iyushi mumukshatve sadhu, who has rightly determined to seek the liberation, who has abided in knowing what needs to be done and what need not be done, prashanta chittaya, who possesses a very serene mind. I think we had spoken about different states, what is prashanta and all that. So shanti, prashanta, and atmananda, brahmananda, and all that some time ago. So now we have to apply this prashantate in that. Tattva upadesham kripaya eva kuryat. So the instruction about the reality should be imparted with the utmost kindness and with an act of grace. And now the Guru speaks. Shri Guru Vacha. Fear not. Vidwan. Vidwan is the person who has known something. At least theoretically he knows this, what needs to be done. So he is brilliant in that way. Because that he has understood certain realities, the Guru says that there is no danger to cross over this ocean of worldliness. There is a way out. By this way alone have all the saints crossed this world. That very same path I shall unfold in front of you. This is the 43rd verse. And the 44th verse talks about Asti upayaha mahan kaschit. There is one supreme means, samsara bhayanashanaha, capable of destroying the fear of samsara. Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim, by which you will cross the sea of the samsara by knowing it. Paramanandam apsyasi, you will attain the supreme bliss. So now he says, where can you find that? By contemplating upon the meaning of the Upanishad, Vedanta Artha Vicharana, Jayate Jnanam Uttamam, is born the highest knowledge. Tena Atyantika Samsara, by which the endless world of name and forms. Atyantika Samsara, when you create name and form, only then the samsara happens. Dukkha nashaha bhavati anu, with all its sorrows is immediately brought to an end. That means you have to remove the nama and rupa, which is nothing but removing the jagat. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshuhu muktehe hetun vakti sakshat shrutehe gehe yova iteshu eva tishtati amushya mokshaha avidya kalpitad deha bandhat. So you need to have faith, shraddha, bhakti, devotion, dhyana, meditation, and yoga to join all of them. Coupled with intense longing for liberation, hetuhu bhakti sakshat shrutehe gehi giha. These are the chief factors mentioned clearly in the words of the scriptures, Shrutihi. Whoever he be, in these alone stand his hopes of liberation from the ignorance created bondage to the body. Ajnana yogat paramatmanah tava through contact with ignorance, you who are the supreme self, that is the unconscious mind in this case, he anatma bandhaha tataha eva samshritaha, indeed experience the bondage of the non-self. That is the waking consciousness and the subconsciousness. And tataha eva samshritaha, now that alone will go into the birth and death cycle. Tayoho vivekaha udita bodha vanaihi ajnana karyam pradahet samunam. By discriminating by these two selves, self and non-self, the blaze of knowledge arises, and then the effect of ignorance are burned down together with its very roots. So the person knows the reality. That was unconscious, now becomes conscious.
So this says ajnana. From ajnana you will go towards jnana, right?
Correct.
Where is that ajnana? Ajnana is anadi. No, where is this ajnana started? Because the first, the human being, when he formed, he is formed out of, for example, from the Mahat only. So by default jnani. And then ajnana happened during what stage of this life?
Not this life, all lives. When there is a bhavatarana.
No, is it by birth ajnana? Assume, because anyway, it's anadi, our birth is also anadi. But where we can say that ajnana started, why not it is jnana is my question. See, you have two things, jnana and ajnana.
Correct.
Now you are moving from ajnana to jnana.
Correct.
At what point in time ajnana started?
At what point in time the vasana entered, that point in time ajnana started.
So chicken and egg story, yeah?
Yeah, one thing you will never be able to unhook, that is vasana.
Mm-hmm.
When did the vasana start?
At the time of creation.
Yes. So now you can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything.
There is no point in knowing how did the ajnana start. There is all point in knowing when did the jnana start. I think we had spoken about it couple of years ago.
Yeah. We had enough discussions around that.
Yeah. So the ideal thing is we should not worry about ajnana. We have to acknowledge that we are ajnani and go towards jnana.
Yes.
That's the right way to do. If there was no ajnana, but we wouldn't have been born in the first place. There was no need to be born.
Mm.
So we are born because of the ajnana only.
Yeah, then that the Christianity of by birth, Papi is right.
Correct. Very correct. Parama Papi. Okay, so now the disciples' question starts from 48th verse. Kripaya shruyatam swamin prashnaha ayam kriyate maya yaduttaram aham shritva kritartah syam bhavan muktaha. So the disciple says, kindly listen to this, O Master. I have certain questions which I would like to pose to you. On hearing the reply to them coming from your own mouth, I shall be satisfied to know how to get out of this bhava, to become. So he asked 7 beautiful questions Kaha nama bandanaha bandaha katam esha agataha katam pratishta tasya katam vimokshaha kaha asau anatma paramaha kaha atma tayoho viveka katam etad uchyatam kaha nama bandha. What is bondage? Katam esha agataha, from where it has come. This is the same question what you asked. From this, where did ajnana come? Almost similar to that. The first question and second question is relating to ignorance. Bondage is part of ignorance. So you are saying ajnana, from where did it start? Katham pratishta. Pratishta means to stay. Tyasya, and get established. Katham vimokshaha. How can one get rid of it completely? Kaha asau anatma. What is non-self? Paramaha. Kaha atma. What is supreme self? Tayoho vivekaha katham. How do I discriminate between these two? Etat uchyatam. Please explain all these to me. So this entire Vivekachudamani is on 7 questions of the Shishya. The entire, all the 4 volumes is on this. So if you know this, if you have these questions, you have come to the right place. This book. So that means you don't have to read anything. You don't require Bhagavad Gita, you don't require Upanishad, you don't require Badarayana's the Brahma Sutra. Nothing is required.
So, Bhagavad Gita, all questions are in this document. Similarly, all these questions are there in Bhagavad Gita, but the situation is different, right? There it is Bhagavad Gita in the war field, but here between Guru and Shishya Samvada.
Correct. And you can consider the same thing over there also. Arjuna is the Shishya and Krishna is the Guru.
Yes, correct.
Same thing, there is no difference. Even if you take Brahma Sutra, Badarayana's Brahma Sutra, the same thing. And you take Upanishad, the meaning of Upanishad itself is Upa and Nishad.
For a person to practice, this is more practical compared to Bhagavad Gita.
All the 3. This is more practical to all the 3 because in the remaining 3, the morality section is missing. You show me in Bhagavad Gita, where do you apply Shama, Dhamma, Uparati and all that? Viveka, Vairagya.
Correct.
From the 2nd chapter to the 18th chapter.
So, the what you call, it is like a duddha, what is that? Bhagavad Gita is like milk, and from there extracted ghee is this.
Yes. Not only that one, all the 3, the Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutras taken together, the Prasthana Traya, the Srikhand is this. You just have to eat. That's all.
Yes. No doubt. There you have to search for something.
Yes, you don't have to search. You can start.
It is readily available.
It's readily available. So you don't have to do anything. So if you can establish Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati and all that, that is the foundation. There is no other foundation. So we'll end this 50th verse, and tomorrow we'll start on the
Yeah.
all of them, the remaining things. So Shri Guru Vacha Danyaha Asi Kritatyaha Asi Pavitam Te Kulam Tvaya Yat Avidya Bandha Muktya Brahmi Bhavitum Ichhasi. So blessed are you, you have fulfilled your life, by which your clan will be completely sanctified. By freeing yourself from the bondage of ignorance, you wish to attain the absolute. So the Guru is very happy with these 7 questions. And if you get answer to all these 7, you are liberated. So Vivekachudamani shows you to path of liberation. You will not find this in Madhva's teaching. You will not find this in Ramanuja teaching. You will not find in anybody's teaching.
This is only Swaprayatna.
Yes. So in the just like the Shramana Marga of the Jains and Buddha, Shankaracharya is the first person who could talk about Shramana, one's own effort. But probably the only Guru who has done it so far.
Shravana or Shramana? What is this?
Shramana, Shrama.
Mama. Okay, Shrama.
Shrama means
Shrama. Okay. Prayatna, Swaprayatna.
Swaprayatna. In the remaining traditions, it is you have to go and plead, you have to do bhiksha. He says that.
Oh, that is the word. This word Sanatan has come. Sanatan is always the latest, the best for you.
Yes. Sanatana meaning is that what which is universal. So samsara of nama and rupa is universal. It is not anything to do with anything at all. The waking state of everyone is the same. The dream state of everyone is the same. The deep sleep state of everyone is the same. Hunger and thirst of everyone are the same. And that is what is called Sanatani. What is in nature is what is depicted. And hence it is Sanatana. So when we say we are Sanatana Dharmi or Sanatana Dharma, what it means? What is in nature is what you are. If there is something which says that you need to believe in this, you need to believe in that, and that will happen and this will happen, then that is not Sanatana. Because the basic reason is that you have to first believe in something. And nature doesn't have to believe in anything. You have to believe in nature, not in anything. So the nature of everything is what it is. So Shankara is the only person you will find who talks about Sanatana. And the Dharma is universal.
Universal Dharma means it is all human beings same.
Yes. If it goes by something else, then it is restricted to that person's only. So it goes against Sanatana.
So finally this is Atma and Anatma difference, clear understanding.
That's all.
The moment you understood what is Atma, then you will not have any interest in Anatma. That means naturally from this prapancha you will be withdrawn.
Yes, so what is Anatma? Anatma is a personality. So now if you think you are a personality, Vyaktitva, if you think you have a Vyaktitva, that means it is Anatma. If you have consciousness, that is Atma. That's all. But 99% of the time we believe only in Vyaktitva. Called as personality. And the personality disappears in the deep sleep.
Yes.
So it is an Atma.
Yeah. Good. We will continue tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.